So thanks again for joining us. My name is Spencer Giese. He, his pronouns. I'm an educational program manager at ACUHO-I, and I am overseeing our housing internship program from a system standpoint out of the ACUHO-I home office. I'm going to pass it over to our committee members who are joining us on the call today. So Sandy, you're up first.
Hi everyone, my name is Sandy Chung. I am the Associate Director of Housing at Florida International University. So this upcoming summer, we will have two ACUHO-I interns to join us. This summer, we've been hosting ACUHO-I intern for the past 4 years at our institution.
Thank you, Sandy. We'll pass it over to TJ.
Hi, everyone. My name is TJ Greggs Edwards. I'm the Assistant Director of Facilities and Operations at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. This will be our seventh summer of hosting, well, since I've been here, we've more than that, hosted interns through the program for over a decade at Emory.
Thanks, TJ. And Maine.
Yes, this is Ma'an Adila. I'm the Assistant Residential Operation Manager with the Housing. And this year, I think we are hosting 4 ACUHO-I interns.
Outstanding. Thanks, Al. And you'll be hearing from each one of these committee members throughout our presentation today. A couple of things I just want to highlight. Thanks for coming again to the session. The supervision that is offered to your interns throughout the summer is so vital to their experience and success of your program and their growth as a professional. So we're just going to give you some basic tips for intern supervision, identify maybe some things that might be different from a more long-term staff member that you might have on a team that you're supervising, and highlight some potential challenges that you might see in internship experience, etc. So first, let's talk about why internships matter.
Yes, so I'll read along with you for a moment. If internships play a critical role in shaping paraprofessionals within the field of higher education, they offer valuable opportunities to gain practical knowledge and professional insight. This experience represents a pivotal moment where individuals begin to move beyond guided training and apply their skills more independently within a structured and supported environment. And as supervisors, it's essential that we remember this is a place for learning, growth, and development. We also encourage you to review the following article to gain insight into the past interns' experiences and perspectives. And you can see to the right there that Give It a Try by David Maldonado, who's the co-chair of this committee. He is written an article about this position.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Thomas. So about the foundation of effective supervision, one of the very important things as a supervisor to do is setting expectations. And this goes to like defining roles and responsibilities and performance standard early on, like from the start to set those expectations. Be specific about priorities, deadlines, and what success look like. Be clear about like all the expectations that you have. Reinforce them in a regular basis, not just initially, like every now and then. Also, something very important to do is building trust with your team or with your interns, to follow through on commitments, to be transparent and fair on your decision making, to hold staff accountable while also supporting their success, to show investment in their growth as well. Some of the best practices that we can use while supervising our interns are, as I said, to be clear and consistent, to give or provide feedback and coaching as well, to give timely, specific, and constructive feedback, to focus on their growth, establish communication norms with them, set up meetings and times to discuss like their performance and how they are doing during your internship, and also to discuss their professional behavior as well.
So, it is important to build the structural experience for your intern, especially they are new to your campus, right? So first thing you should be doing is making sure you prepare the intern arriving, give them the information about the campus, um, the website information, and also letting them know the location, etc. Because many of the interns that you hire, it may not even from the area and the state. So it's so important for you to let them know how the area was, so they would not be coming here to be surprised. We are in Miami. Sometimes they never been to this side, of Miami. So making sure they understand what's the demographic and the area they will be spending the summer with. Also, it's important to let them know who they will be working with, the team, making sure they're meeting with the supervisor so they know what to expect when they come here, and also just give them a heads up a little bit of the culture of how your schoolwork is so important, because students, your intern may be coming from a different institution, whether they're different size, different types of institution. So making sure they understand the culture of your school is so important, and who they will be working with, etc. The first we first, definitely making sure to go over what they signed up for, and also set the pretty quick expectation on what you expect them to do for the summer, so there's no confusion of what that needs to be done. And also making sure you talk to them about the office hour, when do you start, because again, different institutions have different start time, and also the dress code, how do you want them to dress to work, right? Is it business casual, are they allowed to wear jeans, so it needs to be formal? That's so important. Again, making sure you share some of the key resources with them on campus, also off campus, and also around the area. Again, going back to some of the intern may be coming from out of the state, they may not have a car, so making sure that they know where's the closest shopping, grocery shopping, how do they get stuff to ship it to the campus, etc. That is so important for the intern to know, because they will be spending the whole summer here with you guys. Second, the second pillar we're going to talk about is designing the experience, making sure that what you have them sign up to do, not just do the test, right? But, making sure that they are learning from your internship is so important, because that's the reason why we create this opportunity. They come to our institution not to just do the job. Our hope is they could use the experience that they have for this summer to be able to put it on the resume, and also help them with the future employment opportunity. So, also let them to shadow, let them to just sit, at the front desk or whatever, or have them to talk to your intern in the past. We have done it before. We connect them with our past intern, to let our past intern to tell them what they do, what did they do last summer with us. So that definitely help them to understand the role, and also making sure to have them to building opportunity for reflection, making sure that they are able to have time to in fact what they do, and then if they have question of support, that's what we are here for. And also goal setting, asking them, what are the short-term goal and long-term goal that they want to be accomplished, right? Is it within the job itself, or is it they also want to get something out of this, connecting with different offices when they are in our internship, so we could do that. And also making sure that aligning the goal with the intern interest again with the ACUHO-I competency, and also making sure maybe helping along with them once a week to make sure that you are revisiting the goal to make sure that talk about the process and is there anything need to be addressed with the goal. So mentorship in action, this is important. I think, the intern, again, working with us this summer, not expecting just to do the job. They kind of looking for a mentorship. So as a host, we need to do our diligence to be able to offer that. So making sure that, you have, you meet with your intern regularly, and also try to ask them questions, like open-ended questions, so that kind of, allow them to talking to, because sometimes we don't ask those type of questions, we may not know what they really want to get out from it. And also, I know a ACUHO-I at the end, we do have a workbook that we could get to. So, using that workbook could help to guide us to what step that we need to do as a host to making sure we provide the proper mentorship for the intern, and also making sure you share your journey, how you get to where you at, right? I'm not telling you to tell them the whole entire life or story, how you get to student affair, but I think that every single intern are kind of interesting is that I'm wondering how do you get to this field and all these things. So I think having that conversation, you definitely will open up for the intern to ask you more questions. And also, making sure you offer them career insight and guidance. A lot of them probably in higher education, they finish up the first year, they are going into second year. So after second year means that they have to look for a job. So I think that we need to do our diligence, try to see, where where do they want to go after their graduation? Do they have a good resume? Do they know how to interview? I think we could use them to help them as guide them to prepare the future when they have to do job search or interview.
Sorry, I was making sure it was me. I was making sure I'm on the right slide. But some of the potential challenges of this position, I think, are important things to discuss. And I think going through this, I've been through most of these at one point or another with one of our candidates or one of our interns. One is a lack of initiative. You may have a candidate who comes to you and expected one experience, and they're getting one that's completely different, even if you did explain the job to them. That they come in and go, "Oh, I was expecting this to be XYZ, and it's not." So overconfidence or underperformance, someone coming in and, we all in this field know the stories of the people who say, well, at Texas State, we do it this way. And it's like, okay, well, we got that. You're not at Texas State right now, or whatever school. I just said a random school. Texas State has nothing against me. They're a wonderful school. Communication issues, time management struggles. This is, for many, it'll be their first full-time job when it comes to, especially if they're an undergrad going into grad school, their first year of a program, it may be the first time they've had a quote unquote full-time job in the summer. So how to respond, address the concerns early. It'll seem like the summer flies by if this is your first time having an intern. I will tell you, it seems like you blink and all of a sudden you're having the going away party for your intern, and you're like, where did the summer go? So if you do have concerns, make sure you're addressing them very early in the system. So you don't want anyone leaving your university with a bad impression, a bad experience, because they will talk to others and say, oh, I didn't have a good time there that summer, and it can hurt your recruitment in the future. Be direct but supportive. And revisit the expectations. This goes back to some earlier slides we were talking about, really setting things up early to say, this is what to expect in this position, and this is what we're hoping that you accomplish. use specific examples of anything that they may have done that was not up to your standards, or that you give advice for them improving their own communication, or whatever the case may be, or how to deal with supervisor. And when things get difficult, just make sure you're staying calm and professional. This is not, you shouldn't be bringing in an intern to do something that's going to be, impactful for years to come at your university and making massive decisions. I mean, this is a graduate student who's coming in to assist you, and they should have a positive experience out of it, and they should feel like they've done something wonderful. But also, this is not rocket science in the summer. Focus on behavior and not on personality. It may not be a personality fit. We've all had that situation, but make sure you're focusing on what their behaviors are, their work ethic, etc. Like, you don't have to be their best friend, but if they're getting the job done and they're doing their best, then that's the important thing. But document your key conversations in the event that it does, go south. And seek support if needed. This is not one person's intern in the summer. This is a department's intern. This is somebody who's working for everyone, and it may be a situation where you bring in someone and go, this isn't a great fit for me, but I think they'd work great with Susie, who's down the hall doing, a similar job to me. Maybe she wants to work with a student for a few days and see what she can, encourage them. And I encourage that. That's one thing that I will encourage you as a off the slide thing. Make sure they're getting experience with more than, just you, or more than a couple of people. Make sure they're getting experience with a bunch of different people in the field, so they can kind of see that there are a lot of different colors to our rainbow in student affairs. So making sure that they get varied experiences, meet vice presidents, meet, senior directors, et cetera. They get to interact with those folks and find out, well, how do I get to your role? How do I get to, work in this affinity space, whatever. Make sure they're getting connections at your university.
Thanks all for sharing. On this screen, you'll see a QR code for our supervisor workbook that the committee has put together for you this year. We'll also be sharing this in a couple other methods, but certainly if you're on the call right now and you've got the ability to grab that, please do. And that should be a nice little item to go along with your supervising of interns this summer.